what's up, vibers? It's your girl Jamay, and if you're new here, this is Amazing Vibes. And on this channel, we talk about inspiration, beauty, and lifestyle. Have you ever been on a weight loss journey and no matter what you do, the scale just simply would not move? I'm talking about you're getting in your 10K steps a day, you're jump roping, you're drinking a gallon of water a day, you're running, you're weightlifting, and every time you get on that scale, not only it doesn't move, but if it does move, it moves up. I know because I'm in the thick of it right now. But I just found out something that's called the whoosh effect, and it may be the reason why we're not even seeing results. So watch these TikToks that talk about the whoosh effect and describe what it is, and I'll come back for my commentary. Stay tuned.
I trust in you, I trust in you, you set my pride.
I need more girls to understand the whoosh effect because if I had, it would have saved me from so many breakdowns during my 30-pound weight loss. So basically, when you're burning fat, those fat cells don't just disappear, they temporarily fill up with water, which can look like the scale not budging, or even worse, the scale going up. And this can be so confusing when you're literally doing everything right. You're walking, you're eating clean, and most importantly, you're staying in your calorie deficit. Staying in a calorie deficit is the only way you're gonna lose weight. So you're doing all that and you're not seeing any results. I feel like this is when most people panic. They change things up and they start to course correct. It's literally the worst thing you can do, and it's not gonna speed anything up. So here's what you have to do instead. You're gonna do nothing. You're gonna do exactly what you've been doing. You're gonna keep hitting your steps, you're gonna stay in your calorie deficit, and you're gonna keep eating clean. And when you do this consistently, I swear what will happen is one random day you will step on the scale and you will be like 2 to 5 pounds lighter. What seems like overnight, you will physically see yourself leaning out and de-bloating in real time, and it is the craziest, most satisfying thing because you're like, I knew I wasn't crazy. Like I knew I was putting in the work, and then the scale in your body will finally reflect that. And look, I understand it's frustrating and not what you want to hear, but if you listen to anybody who's actually lost the weight and kept it off, the stories are all the same. They stayed consistent with healthy habits long enough to see the result of those healthy habits. And unfortunately, because diet culture is so toxic, a lot of crash diets work in the sense that they'll get the inflammation and bloat and water off your body very quickly, but long term, they're just not sustainable. So if you really want to lose the weight and keep it off, you have to be willing to make real lifestyle changes and kind of get through that. It gets better before it gets worse. And then after that, it's really smooth sailing because you can trust yourself and trust your body that it's gonna release the weight. But if you're in that kind of middle in between phase, hang in there, stick with your healthy habits. I promise it's worth it, and the weight will come off.
Here's the science behind the whoosh effect when you're losing weight. This is why after weeks of dieting, one day you wake up feeling so skinny. That's because the whoosh effect just happened. And if you have been dieting for a few weeks and you feel like nothing's changing, you're in the process of the whoosh effect, so do not give up. The whoosh effect is your body having a standoff to see who will give up first, you or your fat cells. Let me explain. It's called the whoosh effect because your body looks the same until one day you just wake up smaller. In the beginning, your cells are filled with fat. When you're losing weight, your fat cells start to die gradually, and as they're dying, they fill that empty space with water. The reason why your body fills that empty cell with water because your body's expecting that fat to return into the cell. Your body's literally betting on you to get fat again. Once you win that standoff between your fat cells is gonna completely be filled with water and one day just die. It's gonna give up and you're gonna wake up the next day literally being skinny.
If you're trying to reach a goal and you feel like nothing is happening, whatever the goal is, losing weight, getting a new job, whatever it is, and you're actually putting in the work, and you have to be honest with yourself about this. Are you actually being consistent? And if you are and nothing is happening, you have to at least keep going until you feel the whoosh effect, okay? And this is a phenomenon that happens with fat loss, where essentially if you've been in a calorie deficit and you feel like you've kind of plateaued, you'll wake up one day and you'll have lost like a significant amount of weight, whatever. This phenomenon applies to every single area of life that you are trying to see progress and make a change, okay? You have to keep pushing through moments that you think that nothing is happening in order to actually see progress. But the reason why people always fail at their goals is they're not willing to get through those moments. moments. They're not willing to get through those beginning phases where you're like working really, really hard and nothing changes. And this applies to everything. This happens to everyone. You're not going to just wake up on the first day of trying to do something and see progress. It just doesn't happen. But the moment you kind of accept this and realize, okay, I'm going to have to go through this kind of beginning phase where it feels like nothing is happening, you will be rewarded with things like the whoosh effect, where you'll wake up one day and you'll feel like a different person and you'll see progress in ways that you have not before. So if you feel like you're kind of in this moment, you're stuck, you're plateaued, keep going.
In 2 weeks, you'll feel it. In 4 weeks, you'll see it. And in 8 weeks, people will start telling you and you will start hearing it. So keep going. Your whoosh effect is right around the corner. If you're doing everything absolutely right, getting your protein in, getting your whole food, resistance training, going for your walks, drinking your water, then you are absolutely going to wake up one day and all of your hard work is going to show. When you newly start living a healthy lifestyle, your body likes to hold on to everything it possibly can, because it's going to freak out and wonder what's going on. Why aren't you eating processed foods anymore? Why aren't you filling your body with sugar anymore? I need to hold on to anything I possibly can, and that might be water retention. I know it can be very frustrating putting the work in and day out, weeks on end, without seeing any progress or any movement on the scale. But if you're doing all the things, you're actually doing the things, you're not just being delulu about it, and you're actually putting in the hard work, then one day you're going to wake up and there will absolutely be proof of your hard work. Yes, a lot of people are genetically blessed and they're just going to look good regardless of what they do. But when it comes down to it, for the majority of us, our body tells how much discipline we have, and just by looking at someone, you can tell how much discipline they have and how much hard work they have. Now, on the other hand, if you have been doing this for about 6 to 8 weeks and you're still not seeing progress, then there's probably something in your daily routine that you are either doing that's hurting your progress or you're not doing that's hurting your progress. So maybe reevaluate everything you're doing and figure out what it is for you that's holding you back. But anyways, go ahead and start now and we'll be whooshing together into summertime. I love you guys. Bye.
My video on explaining the whoosh effect is having a resurgence of popularity because I think you're all finally starting to clock it, honey. You're starting to clock it. There were people in my comments being like, it's not real. Okay, for you maybe. For me and thousands of other people, it's real. Okay? If you're going to the gym every single day, you're eating right, you're putting in the work, and you're just like, man, I'm not seeing anything, I'm not seeing anything, I'm not seeing anything. Hold on, honey, because the whoosh is coming for you, okay? You're going to be on day 72, and you're going to be like, I see nothing. You're going to go to sleep, you're going to wake up on day 73 and be like, oh my God. Like, it's like a fun Christmas surprise how it shows up. It really is. It's frustrating, but I'm telling you, it's gonna come. You've got to just stay consistent. Keep going even when you don't see the results. Also, I want to remind you that you live with yourself and you look at yourself every single day, so it's hard to see the incremental results, but one day it's going to be significant enough, honey, because it's all going to add up.
What happens is your body needs time to adjust. Even when you're doing everything right, your body still has to adjust. They talk about what's called like the whoosh effect, right? You'll be doing all the right things. You'll be in your deficit. Maybe you'll see little to no weight loss for a while. And then seemingly all of a sudden you'll have a whoosh day. Maybe you have a flush. You start losing all this. Your body flushes fluids, and you start to now stabilize at your new body weight. And it seems like overnight you lost all this weight. But what happens is in the background, you may have been retaining water where it was offsetting the weight loss. And you really didn't see how you actually started tightening up until your body stabilized, it flushes the excess water, and now it looks like overnight you just lost 5-6 pounds.
If your weight stays the same for weeks and then finally it eventually drops several pounds, here's why. This is what we call the whoosh effect. You could be losing fat throughout those several weeks, but the moment you step on the scale all the time, it is not showing you. This is what we call the whoosh effect, because your body is holding onto water weight for so many different reasons. It could be that time of the month for you ladies. It could be you having more carbs. It could be you having more sodium. It could be so many different things that are happening in your life. But you could be in a calorie deficit, losing fat, and then the scale may not show up, but eventually, bang, you get the whoosh effect and the water weight comes off your body. This is a normal process. This is a normal thing. This is why it is important to take other forms and measures of progress beyond just the scale, because the scale is not going to show you everything. The scale could stay the exact same, and you could be taking body measurements and losing inches, even though the scale hasn't dropped. It is going to be normal to see spikes where it goes down, spikes where it goes up. This is part of the process, as long as you're seeing a general trend over time going down.
People don't talk about this enough in the weight loss community. The whoosh effect. As someone who's experienced the whoosh effect more than twice, my weight wouldn't go down at all. I was eating right, I was exercising exercising, I was drinking water, and I was sleeping, but it felt like nothing was changing. That's because my body went into a plateau because it was getting adjusted to the changes I'd made in my lifestyle. Then all of a sudden, one day I woke up and everything was different. My weight dropped, I physically looked a lot leaner and toned, and I honestly didn't do anything different. I stick to my goals and just waited for it to happen. If you're doing everything you need to do and you're still working towards your goals, stay consistent and trust me, you will get your results.
The day you think the scale will never drop is the day it will. Let me explain, because some call this the whoosh effect. So here's what happens in fat loss. You're in a calorie deficit and you're burning fat. As fat is metabolized, those cells will shrink. And as those cells shrink, they will fill with fluid. And this water retention will mask weight loss on the scale. This is why you can see changes, but the scale doesn't seem to change. And as fat cells shrink and fluid is lost, whoosh, the scale drops. So let's go.
So now that we know what the whoosh effect is, and this is for the people who have been doing everything they possibly can to get the scale to go down. Not talking perfection, but a good 99% of what you are doing, you're doing it and you're being consistent. The whoosh effect is gotta be what's going on, because it doesn't make sense to go weeks or even months doing things correctly and the scale not move. And it's such a frustrating experience, believe me, I know. And although I myself am not perfect, I've made leaps and bounds and changes in terms of the things that I'm putting in my body and working out and being disciplined and consistent. So if you're doing the same, all you have to do is continue to do those things and work on leveling up your patience. Patience is what it's going to take to be able to see the effects. Many people give up right before they see a change because they think it's not working. But I encourage you to just keep going. If you keep going, if you keep being disciplined and consistent, eating right, working out, hydrating, getting your sleep, doing all the things that you are supposed to do and have been doing, I promise you, you're going to wake up one day and you're going to get on that scale and you are going to see it trending downward. So don't give up, guys. I'm here with you, encouraging you along the way. If you're feeling this vibe, click like and subscribe. Join the community. I'll be doing more videos about weight loss. I'm going to drop my playlist in my end screen. So make sure you watch to the end and click on it if you want to see more videos on this topic. Okay, until next time, just know that you are so amazing and continue to vibe high.